loss from soil due to monsoon. Sir, even though we have rainfall, where the losses are there? Rainfall is there in the sense, are we completely using 100% of natural rainfall, or where is the loss happening? This is the first topic. Now, first loss is called due to seepage, the loss will be there. What do you mean by seepage is, even though rainfall is there, you see there are different soils are there throughout the India. Nearby the seashore, if you go, what kind of soils will be there? Sandy soil. If you pour some water in sand, does it penetrate quickly? It will penetrate quickly. Imagine you have a clay. Now you pour water. It will not penetrate immediately. The clay, above that if you have water, it will not penetrate. So whatever rainfall is there, all the soils will not absorb evenly. Imagine if there is rainfall in hill places. What will happen? The water will run off. You have a sloped area, the rainfall water will quickly run off. Runoff is a parameter. What do you mean by runoff is, if you have a flat place, then there is a possibility of penetrating that water into the soil. If it is a hilly or sloped place, that water will quickly run off from one place to another. So first type of loss is called runoff. It doesn't even have a time to infiltrate. Imagine if a rainfall is there nearby seashore. That sand will not always be wet form. Immediately it will rain. If you are in a clay soil, it will not rain immediately. So that is the first phenomenon. Imagine you would have heard about landslides. Why does landslide come? Is due to warming. In the hills, what will happen? The ice will be melting. All the ices will melt and it will run off quickly and creates a landslide. You see, these are the icebergs. Due to warming, it will melt and it will flow. This is called runoff. The water will move quickly. Whatever is there, it will take everything. Imagine the top of the soil will be having much rich nutrients. The runoff is there. What will happen? The rich nutrients will be taken by the water and there will be nothing for the trees. So this is the first phenomena called surface runoff, is the major loss which prevents the infiltration capacity in penetrating inside. By this image you can understand that not all the soils will be having same amount of penetration. You see the direction of penetration. The sandy soil will be quickly moving in a straight line. But if clay soils are there, peat is there. Peat is a type of soil. So according to the type of soil, the infiltration will be there. Granular soils are very hard. So it will not go quickly. Even though you have high amount of rainfall, there will be nothing inside the soil. If you are boring in hill place, do you get more water? Boring will yield more when you have sandy soil. Types of soil is there. If you have rock, if you are putting bore, there is no chance of having water. Why? Because rock will not penetrate the water. So even though if you are putting bore, you will not have water. So that is the reason, according to type of soil, the availability of water will be there. This depends on the infiltration capacity. Loss of soil moisture and erosion. Now, deep percolation. If you are doing agriculture, water will be there up to, imagine you have a soil. That soil is 1 meter or 2 meter depth. If the water goes below 2 meter, there is no use for the crops. The water is penetrating like that. You see, these are the different types of soil. Which soil will you purchase for planting your trees? So you have a cup, you want to plant a tree. What soil you will buy to grow plants or trees, etc.? These three are there: sand, loam, clay. You have to purchase loamy soil. So there are different types of sand. According to this, the percolation will be different. For sand, it will be very quick. For loamy will be standard. Clay will be very late. So according to the percolation, if deep percolation is there, have you seen any vegetations nearby the sandy soil? Have you seen any vegetations they are doing? Any agriculture in sandy soil? They will not do. Why? Because what will happen? Even though if you put a seed nearby the seashore, there will be no growth of a plant. You can see only coconut trees. Coconut trees nearby the seashore. Next thing is evaporation loss. Sir, does evaporation is a phenomena where we lose the water? Yes. Rainfall is there. You imagine this is the rainfall of nearby West Bengal. I took this report. You see, this is the average of rainfall. Which month the highest of rainfall will be there according to previous classes? June 1. Can you see the precipitation? This is June 1. This is the precipitation. How much of precipitation was there? Around 200 mm of rainfall is there. You see in summer season, January, February, March, April, May. You see this period which are having very less amount of rainfall in a place. Naturally, throughout the year, this is the particular place. When does monsoon starts? June, July, August, September and last of October. So these are the places where you have high amount of rainfall. Imagine this much rainfall is there. This graph says that evaporation loss. What do you mean by evaporation loss is, soon as the rainfall occurs, immediately the water will not drain, evaporation will happen. How much water it will evaporate in the sense, you see here around 100 mm of water will evaporate. If you have 300 mm of rainfall, 100 mm will be taken by the sun. How much of water it will percolate? Only 200. 100 mm will evaporate. So this is one of the laws. Can you stop evaporation? No, you cannot stop. It is a natural phenomena. Is evaporation good or bad? Is evaporation good or bad? Sir, we need water. Rainfall is there. Rain is coming. Evaporation, 1/3 of water is taken by the sun. Is evaporation good or bad for water storage? Bad. Why? If evaporation is not there, will you have a rainfall again? You will not have rainfall. So you understand, when you want to save water, evaporation is not a good phenomena. But naturally, evaporation cannot be stopped. So the evaporation is 1/3 of water is being taken by the sun. Now, next one is seepage. What do you mean by seepage is, the rainfall will go into different places. What are the different places? Rivers, stream, canals and drains. You know rivers and stream. The water will merge into the river and stream. What is canal is, you see this is called canal. Now from the dam, if they open the water, through this kind of canal, it will be going to all the crops. Rainfall water will be seepaging in canals, drains, floodplains and coastal areas. Coastal areas, sea will take the water. Now next thing is transpiration. Yes, it's called transpiration. What the plants will do is, the plants will take the water from the root and it will get into the atmosphere. This phenomena is called transpiration. Even though if you have water below the soil, the trees will not allow to stay the water. What does trees will do? It will absorb the water and it will send to the atmosphere. So not all the plants will help to store the water. It will take the water from soil and it will distribute into the clouds. So this is called transpiration. So due to this, there is one loss, soil erosion. Can you see what happened to these roots? There are roots exposed, no? Why does roots are exposed here? Due to heavy rainfall. What it will happen? It will take off all the soil and go. So due to that, the roots are exposed here. Soil erosion happened. So if more trees are there, then you can stop erosion. If less trees are there, what will happen? The soil will be taken by the rain. And next thing is regional pattern of Indian rainfall. This you have to know. In Western Ghats and northeastern India, Kerala, etc. So there high runoff and soil erosion losses are there. Indo-Gangetic plains near Maharashtra, near Deccan Plateau region, there is seepage and percolation loss. Have you visited any North Indian places? If you are in Karnataka, you can see maximum red soil and soil will be hard. But if you go towards West Bengal or western side of India, you can see only clay soil. Have anyone observed? Have anyone moved towards north? You can observe that the soil completely throughout the district, if you go, it will be different. It will be clay soil, alluvial soil like that. Near Indo-Gangetic plain, you will be having alluvial soil. There is a seepage and percolation loss will be there. In India, next thing is high runoff during short intense rains. Runoff will be high. What do you mean by runoff? I told rain will come. For us, what is the problem? Rain will be there, but immediately rainwater will go to ocean. This is the problem in peninsular India. So that is why we have to provide check dams in order to store the water. Note that if high rainfall is there, don't think that water is available. We should store water. If rainfall is there, we should store water. That is the first point to note. Second thing is, you have to create rainwater harvesting and watershed management in order to preserve. Last class I told that, sir, how will they measure the rainfall? This is the class. How they are measuring rainfall is, first thing, this called rain gauge. Who will keep rain gauges? In all Indian meteorological department, you will have this. They will place evenly. If they are placing in Kumbalgod area, next station will be in Kengeri area. You have this rain gauge. So this kind of things are being provided in all the places. But this technique is used in more than 100 to 200 years back. They are using this rain gauge. We understand that 100 mm rainfall, 200 mm rainfall means what? The rain will come and it will fill. It will fill this one, and after a rainfall, when they will check is, there is a procedure for this. Daily at 8:30 morning, they have to take readings. At intermediate reading, you can take at 5:30 p.m. at evening. 2 times you can take daily. You should not at all times you have to see. Daily morning at 8:30, how much water is filled here, that is the day's rainfall. So you have to take at morning or at evening 5:30 p.m. How much rainfall is there? This is called rain gauge. Depth of water in terms of millimeter, they will be measuring. Now, rain gauge, what are the things you will get is, you will get the intensity, duration, etc. There are 2 types of rain gauge. This type of rain gauge is used in 50 plus years. So, what is this rain gauge means? This is Simon's rain gauge. Simon's rain gauge is little bit technical. You will be having a funnel here. The funnel's distance will be 127 mm. If you are having larger size, what it will happen? It will take more rainfall. You can think that, sir, why I am taking this as measurement? If I am taking a large vessel, more rainfall will be there, no? You can imagine by yourself. I can take a different size and measure. You should not measure. There is a uniformity to be followed. The funnel should be having a same diameter and the depth. So this should be followed. That is why they call it as rain gauge. If you take a wide vessel, what it will happen? The depth will not fill quickly. The depth will be much larger. So that is why there is a constant specification. 127 mm will be the wide. There will be a funnel. Below that you have this kind of cylinder. This cylinder will receive the record. Physically it will be provided like this. This is called non-recording type. Next type of rain gauge is there. This is recording rain gauge. This one. This one is there in IITs. In civil lab we have, if you visit civil lab, we have rain gauge. This rain gauge we have. They will measure the rainfall. So this measurement is there. That is available in IIT. So you have to keep this above. So these are the 2 parts. You have to keep this above. If rainfall is falling in the top, what it will happen? There will be a graph here. This graph will mark. According to the intensity of rainfall, it will mark. So if rainfall intensity is too high, it will mark down. If rainfall intensity is less, it will go up. So like that, the intensity, duration can be measured. Now, these are the techniques which are used way before 50 years. Now recently, what techniques they are using is, this is the radar measurement technique. What do you mean by radar is, there will be a tower. Above the tower, they place the radar here. Whenever rainfall is there, they will send this wave. Microwaves they will send, not in a particular time. 24/7 the rays will be sent. What it will happen? It will come back as returning echoes. Then you have to understand that there is some rainfall. This radio waves ensures that the amount of rainfall. This is called radar based technique in order to measure the rainfall. Now currently we use latest technology, satellite measurement. Currently we launch more satellites. There are different satellites which is launched for particular purpose. So like this, throughout the globe we have a particular satellite. It will concentrate only India, where you have rainfall which will be collected. Now I told Indian Meteorological Department website, no? In that website, they are giving day by day rainfall calculations. How they are giving? They are giving by the satellite. India have launched a satellite particularly to understand the weather, rainfall pattern, etc. From this, you will be getting rainfall pattern, and like this, you will be getting a graph. Where is the rainfall? What is the latitude and longitude? How much of rainfall intensity is there? Which place? Everything will be provided by this graph. Number of advanced countries are using this. Not all countries have, but India have a satellite particularly for this. So different satellites have different reason. So even GPS satellites are there. So we have this. Isohydral method is for understanding the amount of rainfall. Isohydral method. What do you mean by isohydral? Is the measurement of rainfall throughout this line, which will be equal. This is called isohydral method of measuring the rainfall. And next one is rainfall intensity. In weather report, they say today you will be having a small rainfall or short rainfall will be there. Small rainfall, moderate, heavy, storm, large storm and extreme. What do you mean by this is, what is small rainfall? If you have a rainfall in 24 hours of less than 10 mm is called what? Small rainfall. If in a weather report they say that today you will be having a heavy rainfall, means heavy rainfall is 25 to 50 mm of rainfall is called heavy rainfall. What is called storm is 100 to 250 mm per day, not in a monsoon. Per day, if 100 to 250 mm is rainfall is there, then it is called a large storm and extreme. You see that throughout the year, how much of event will happen? You can see 39 number of small rainfalls might come, and heavy rainfalls will not be there. Only 6 number of heavy rainfalls per monsoons will be there. If you see storms and extremely large will be there or not be there. So like that, the heavy rainfall will not be there throughout the year. 1 or 2 might come, but small rainfall will be there throughout the year. How to find rainfall intensity is rainfall amount by duration. This is the amount divided by how much minutes of rainfall was there, you can find. Now, this is the last topic called factors affecting rainfall. Why rainfall is there? Why the onset? Why withdrawal is there? So these are the factors. First factor is latitude. Sir, in which place we have high amount of rainfall is? You see, this is the earth. This is the equatorial region. If any country is there in equatorial region, will be having high amount of rainfall. That is why, can you see, this is India. In peninsular part, in this West Bengal, you see here, this part have high amount of rainfall, because if you are there in equator, you have a high chance of having high amount of rainfall. If you are going up or above the equator, these are called subtropical regions. Subtropical regions will not have high rainfall. Above Uttar Pradesh, you will not have high amount of rainfall because it is going more than equator. So this is the equatorial stage, 30 degree, 30 degree. In this place, you will be having high amount of rainfall. I have heard about Amazon rainforest. It is there in equatorial region. Because of that, they have high moisture content. Due to that, high rainfall is there. So this is a factor. If you are in equator, you have high rainfall. You can go throughout the world. In equatorial place, high sunshine will be there. High rainfall will also be there. 2 factors will be there. And subtropical regions are having less amount of rainfall when you compare. Now this is the pattern of rainfall. Very high rainfall is more than 200 centimeter, and it varies low to moderate stage, consistent throughout the year. Throughout the year you will not have high amount. It is consistent. Primary driving is rising air. So what is the reason for equatorial high rainfall means? during hot and humid conditions, it will be evaporating quickly. That is the reason for rising air. The air will rise quickly and it will precipitate. Now next thing is monsoon wind. Which affects rainfall is monsoon wind affects rainfall. Due to its direction, strength, moisture content, it varies. Next thing is relief. This phenomena I have told you, nearby place you have precipitation high at one place, you have dry at the another place. So this is called topography. According to topography, rainfall will be high or less. If you are in windward, heavy rainfall will be there. If you are in leadward, no rainfall will be there, or very less rainfall will be there. Next thing is distance from sea. Who will get more rainfall? If you are nearby sea, will you get more rainfall or not? If you are in center part of a continent, will you receive more rainfall, or when you are in seashore, will you get more rainfall? Nearby sea only you will get more rainfall. If you see European countries, they will not have high rainfall because they are located in such place. This is a graph shows that if you are nearby sea, you have high chance of precipitation. How much precipitation will be there? More than 1200 mm of rainfall will be there. If you are away from the seashore, then there will be very less amount of rainfall. Imagine what are the places have less rainfall is. Have you seen in Australia? You take the map of Australia. Australia is very well developed only at the seashore. Interior of Australia is desert. Why? Because you will be not having rainfall. Around the places of the island only we will be having very high rainfall. So that is the reason rainfall decreases in inland. So this is a parameter which affects the rainfall. Pressure of wind system. Low pressure encourages rainfall. Where you have low pressure, in equator or in polar region, where you have low pressure. Equator have low pressure. There is a high amount of rainfall. You see, equator has low pressure. If you have low pressure, there is a high chance of rainfall. The high pressure will be at the polar regions. Now next thing is temperature. Higher the temperature, proportion to evaporation creates more rainfall. And last two phenomena. Vegetations. Sir, if I plant more trees, what it will happen? Do you have high rainfall or less rainfall? Planting trees increases rainfall. So, if forest increases, humidity and convections will increase. Convection is this. Convection is, it creates the hot air to up, lighter air to the down. This is called convection. High pressure air will come down. This promotes the vegetation. According to the vegetation, the rainfall will be there. Now next thing is El Nino and La Nina. So this is a concept, this is a global concept, not in India. What is this El Nino and La Nina concept is? You see, this is a global map. At a particular place, if you have high amount of heat through air, what it will happen? Where does air move? From hot place to cool place, it will move. The hot place is called El Nino and La Nina is called cool place. So this is El Nino and La Nina. So the hot wind move towards the cooler wind. This phenomena is called this El Nino and La Nina. Reduces rainfall in India, increases